recently finished House of Flame and Shadow, and I had the best time reading this one. I want to start off by saying something that I've said in every review for every book in the series, and that is Bryce is such an amazing character. She has become one of my absolute favorite FMCs of all time. I loved her interactions, especially with certain characters in this, and she has this absolutely amazing scene where she shows up at the best time possible, at the best location possible, and I was internally screaming when I read that. I love her sass and sarcasm, how she's always able to plan 2 steps ahead, and most importantly that she's willing to sacrifice for others. I do think the best part of the story was absolutely the references to other books, and there were so many great scenes between Bryce and certain characters, and I really wish that I had had more of those. But I did love getting to read more about the history of the world. Even if I don't feel like I really understood all of it, I did enjoy reading about it. I do think that this book was probably longer than it needed to be, and that there were a lot of things that were left unanswered or not really explained. However, I personally love all of the characters in this series. I love Bryce, but really all of them are some of my favorite characters. And so I enjoyed getting to read all about their quests and everything that they were doing, even if some of it wasn't fully explained. And I also thought the plot has so much happening and so much going on constantly. I was just having so much fun reading this. And so I found myself overlooking specific plot holes or anything like that. I do know that some people found the ending to be somewhat anticlimactic. I personally didn't feel that way. I thought it had the right amount of intensity while still giving me hope for the characters. And honestly, I feel like all of her books don't truly have high stakes, and so I think that was kind of in the back of my mind while reading this. In the end, I wasn't disappointed by the ending, and I actually ended up loving it, especially the very ending where it has sort of like this callback reference to the very first book. And there were many times towards the end that had me on the verge of tears. But I definitely had such a fun time reading this book, and I'm so glad that I finally read Crescent City, because honestly, I do think it is one of the best series I've ever read.